What's going on, guys? Chris Oberle here from the nice, sunny, and hot Arizona in the middle of the desert. Tell you guys I'll be joining magician Bharath on his YouTube channel, Mallugic. You guys need to hop on down there. Did I pronounce his name right? I don't know. I'll have to ask him. But I'll see you guys soon.
എല്ലാവർക്കും ഹായ്, ഞാനിവിടെ സ്വന്തം മജീഷ്യൻ ഭരത്. സോ വെൽക്കം ബാക്ക് ടു മൈ ചാനൽ മല്ലുജിക്. സോ നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ചാനൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് കാണുന്നതെങ്കിൽ കൺസിഡർ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ചാനൽ ആൻഡ് ഹിറ്റ് ദ ബെൽ ഐക്കൺ ഫോർ മോർ വീഡിയോസ്. സോ ഈ സെഗ്മെന്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഫേസ് ടൈം വിത്ത് ലെജൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സെഗ്മെന്റ് ആണ്. സോ ഇതിന് മുമ്പ് നമ്മൾ കുറെ ലെജൻഡറി മജീഷ്യൻസിനെ ഇതിനകത്തേക്ക് ഫീച്ചർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ ബേസിക്കലി ഈ സെഗ്മെന്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ വേൾഡ് വൈഡ് ഉള്ള അത്യാവശ്യം എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഉള്ള ലെജൻഡറി മജീഷ്യൻസിനെ ഫീച്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു സെഗ്മെന്റ് ആണ് ഈ ഫേസ് ടൈം വിത്ത് ലെജൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. സോ ഇന്നത്തെ സെഗ്മെന്റിൽ നമ്മൾ ഫീച്ചർ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്ന മജീഷ്യന്റെ പേര് ക്രിസ് ഒബെർലെ എന്നാണ്. ആൻഡ് ഈസ് ഫ്രം അരിസോണ. ആൻഡ് യു നോ വാട്ട്, പുള്ളിക്കാരൻ്റെ പ്രത്യേകത എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പുള്ളിക്കാരൻ കിടിലൻ മജീഷ്യനാണ്. ബട്ട് മോർ ദാൻ ദാറ്റ് പുള്ളി ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ അറിയപ്പെടുന്നതെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒട്ടുമിക്ക ലെജൻഡറി മജീഷ്യൻസിനെയും പുള്ളിക്കാരൻ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് എന്താ പറയുക, ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ അറിയപ്പെടുന്ന മിക്ക കിടിലൻ മജീഷ്യൻസിനെ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കിടിലൻ മജീഷ്യനാണ് ഈ പുള്ളി. സോ ആ പുള്ളിക്കാരനെ നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ചെയ്യാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. സോ ഐ എം സൂപ്പർ എക്സൈറ്റഡ് ഫോർ ദാറ്റ്. സോ വിത്ത് ദാറ്റ് സെഡ് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞ് ഒട്ടുപാട് അങ്ങോട്ട് വെറുപ്പിക്കുന്നില്ല, നമുക്ക് നേരെ ഇന്റർവ്യൂലേക്ക് ജമ്പ് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, സോ ആർ യു റെഡി ഫോർ ദാറ്റ്? ലെറ്റ്സ് ജമ്പ് ഓൺ ടു ദ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ. Hello Chris.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing good. It's probably late where you are.
Yeah, it's like now it's 1 p.m. here. Like no, 1 a.m. here.
Oh, 1 a.
Yeah, I mean late night. Yeah, I usually sleep at night, late nights. So that's fine. So first of all, thank you for accepting my invitation to my YouTube channel, Mallugic. Okay, thanks a lot.
Oh, no problem. It's my pleasure to do it.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a different experience for me because I had interviewed many magicians and legendary magicians, but this time I'm actually interviewing a person who had interviewed many legends in the magic industry.
Yeah.
So like how a interviewer should be. So I know you won't intentionally judge me, but still in your mind you know what kind of questions I'm going to ask you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you are okay. So let's start. Okay, I don't want to ask you a common question like how you got into magic. Okay, that's a common question, but still we will come to that in later. So first of all, the first question which I want to ask you is that who was the magician whom you were so afraid to interview? I mean, who you got so much tensed and nervous to interview that legend? Who was that legend?
Probably Stephen Brundage. So I used to work at Murphy's Magic, and I used to teach on the DVDs, teaching tricks and stuff. And one thing that I did on the side was I did these kind of funny, awkward interviews with these magicians. So with Steven, he was on America's Got Talent, which is really big here in the United States, and it was at the top of Steven's career. So he just put out Cube 3, which I produced and I edited. I helped with that whole entire project. And I did. I mean, Steven knew that the interview was going to be awkward because that was my acting, so okay. But he didn't know what I was going to ask. So on the interview, I made fun of, as a Steven's my friend, so I could joke around with him, and I wouldn't do this to everybody. But with Steven, I kind of made fun of him that he lost on America's Got Talent. I said, let's show my favorite clip, one that you sent in, and he didn't know what clip I was going to show, but it was of Steven losing and crying and stuff and everything. But it was just a joke as friends, and everything. So, but Steven had a Rubik's Cube there that was signed by the judges. And even though I told him, if I mix this up, will you be able to solve it? And he's like, yeah, I'll be able to do that. And as I mix it up, it shatters into a million pieces and stuff. But in all actuality, the interview, it was kind of in a way set up. Like people didn't know that he was my friend, and people didn't know who I was and stuff. But and the cube that he had that was signed wasn't an actual cube that was signed by the celebrities. He just said, you know, if I'm gonna sign this. I have this Rubik's cube. I'll sign it, and we'll say it's from the celebrities, and I use it on the show. And he said, if you mix it up, it'll shatter into a million pieces, and stuff. So after I put that video out there, it's funny because all of his followers hated me. So
that's so bad.
Because they thought it was real. They thought the whole thing was real, when in all actuality it was.
They didn't know that you guys are friends and you are a magician also, right?
Yeah. They just thought I was some guy interviewing
I think that interview actually came on Stephen Bharath's YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. I think Stephen posted that on his YouTube channel.
Yeah. Because recently, I saw on YouTube, you know. I was searching about you actually, you know, because I'm interviewing you, right? So I need to search about you. So while I was searching, I saw this video and it was on his channel. Okay, so that's what.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's get into the next question. Okay, anyway, you need to show some magic tricks, but before that, let me ask you something. So you have a great experience in interviewing with legendary magicians, and you know how they perform, how the way they talk and all, right? So what's your point of, you know, we know that how we can be very expert in certain kind of sleight of hand moves, or how we can be good at presentation, you know, by practice only. You have to perform a lot, we have to practice a lot. But what's your point of view on the take from just being a professional magician? You know, there is a boundary line, right? Being a professional magician and being a legendary magician, being a legend or being the king in that industry, right? So how a professional magician can become a legend in this industry? Is it because of years of experience, practice, or fame? What does it really matter?
Yeah, one thing, well, just a little background on me. I started working when this all started, I got into magic because I saw David Copperfield on TV.
Okay.
And and I thought it was amazing. So I started Illusionists just started putting out their videos, and I was like, man, these guys look super cool. I want to be like that. And I started getting DVDs from Illusionists, but I also started working for a company called Paper Crane Magic, which that was back when David Blaine was doing. He came out with his special, and Paper Crane Magic was putting out tricks that David did on his special. So I started kind of being friends with the people that worked there, and I started working there. And then I ended up going to Las Vegas for a convention called I forget what the convention was, but it wasn't Magic Live, but it was a convention that only lasted 1 year. And I met Chris Kenner that worked for Copperfield. And I went to school for video, and I was just talking to Chris Kenner, and Chris Kenner got me a job to work for David Copperfield.
Wow.
So I worked for David for 2 years. We did 600 shows a year. So altogether, I worked 1,200 shows with David. And one thing, I mean, David's like the top. David's one of the best, right? Yeah. Everybody knows him.
Everybody knows about it, yeah.
Yeah, and even when I worked his show, I mean, people from all around the world, like people that didn't even speak English, would go to his show just to see him, because that's the thing with magic is you could talk to people just by doing tricks that they could see the magic. They don't need to understand.
Because we are visually stunning the audience, right?
Right, yeah. So, and that's one thing is you know, David's a legend in itself, and just from working with him so much, that one thing that I learned from him is nothing is ever perfect. So David will do Kevin James's Floating Rose better than Kevin James, but in David's mind, it's not perfect. He would always work on it have different camera angles and
Okay.
and work with it, you know. So so you know these a lot of the guys in the industry, they live magic. They live, eat, and breathe magic. And you know, a lot of the guys in the industry that are big names, you know, they always have cards on them. They're always thinking of like, what is the
Yeah.
next thing? Because this industry is always changing. It's always becoming different. I mean, now I think magic is kind of uh, pushing towards like technology.
Yeah, and also in this situation, it's actually the soul of magic. Okay, the soul of magic is all about interaction and the live moments, the happiness in the audience faces, right? But now it's
Right.
coming into the virtual platform just because of the situation we are going through, right?
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah,
But
and the one thing,
now it's
and
all
the
about.
and the one thing is that we know we should act according to the situations that we live around, right?
Mhm.
So I think that's what Andy. The one thing which you said is right because nowadays, you know, the magicians who are like, or I mean, the people who are coming into the magic industry right now are more likely to focus on the technology-based thing rather than practicing sleight of hand.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's so if you are telling about if you are speaking about like a sleight of hand magic or technology or gimmick based thing, there will be a big debate. I mean, we have to talk a lot because there are many criterias while talking between them. But I feel like it's good to know to master some impromptu effects, some
Oh
using
yeah.
sleight of hand, because at certain point of time there will be situations which we cannot use technology. There will be
Right.
situations we will not be able to carry gimmicks around with us. So at
Right.
that time, if you are mastering some kind of impromptu effect, then we can embrace the moments, right? We can just
Right.
astonish. Yeah.
If you do, and my mind is has always been, if you do magic, you should be able to do magic with anything.
Yeah.
You should be able to do magic at any time. So if you're at a bar, whenever bars open up, you know, if you're somewhere and somebody's like, let me see something, I already do magic. You should be able to do magic with anything. You know, I mean, I
Yeah.
have stuff on me,
Exactly.
like in my wallet that I have on me, but you know, I'm talking about like Gregory Wilson has a great DVD called On the Spot,
Yeah. Yeah.
where
I think
it's just
in that DVD he is teaching many impromptu steps, right? Many
yeah,
things.
and that's a great DVD. I mean, I highly recommend that. But but yeah, like I you know, this magic is always changing, and there's always something that you can learn. I mean, I know a lot of people now, a lot of younger people now, they learn their stuff on YouTube and stuff. And I mean, some people think that's wrong, but I think um, people have to get started somehow, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
if there's something that sparks that interest on YouTube or whatever, and they're like, oh man, like you know, I'm gonna search learning magic, and they come across Penguin Magic or Illusionist or Theory 11, like, and then they start purchasing this stuff. I think you know, that's good because I mean, back when I started, there was no YouTube. I'm sure back when you
Yeah,
started, there was no
understood.
YouTube.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, it's always changing.
but yeah, I believe like this is just my perspective. Okay, so if there is a person who is just learning tricks from YouTube, okay, it will make him know many magic tricks. But you know, without mentoring, I think they don't learn about professional ethics. There is this
Right,
thing called professional ethics, and we know that there are no certain guidelines or there is no code of conduct. But it's professional ethics is something all about understanding and the commitment towards the art form, right?
right,
So
right.
the guys who learn just from the YouTube, just depending on YouTube, I don't think they will learn about what exactly professional ethic is. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just my perspective. I just said,
and yeah, and sometimes it's not even. I mean, a lot of these people that they're learning from on YouTube, sometimes they're kids, and the kids are like, I'm going to teach this trick, and they don't teach it correctly. So
yeah,
And they don't credit the creators correctly. They just reveal the trick. They don't even mention about who the creator is, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, but again, like if you go onto YouTube and you search like Xavier Spade, who is a great magician who has his own company, he teaches his own stuff, you know, and then you know that'll kind of spark. I mean, I think that's the more right way by learning from people that are professional, that give credit where credit's due, you know, and
I
stuff.
understood, yeah.
That's just my 2 cents,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, Chris. So let's come down to the main part. Okay. Now, look, the audience who are watching this video right now will be thinking, okay, why these guys are just talking only? They are magicians, right? So they are expecting some kind of effects from you. So just
All
show
right.
something, then we will go on to the next question. So show
Yeah,
something.
for sure. So one thing that that I did was I would create magic and I would be on DVDs teaching stuff. And this is one of the effects that it's called hustle. I don't know if have you ever seen that before, hustle?
No, I haven't heard about it.
Okay. So this is hustle, which you can search for at you know, Penguin Magic and stuff. But I had a little take on this. But you're familiar with 3-card monte, yes?
Yeah.
So those of you that aren't familiar with 3-card monte, they have 3 cards, and there's like 1 red card or 1 queen and 2 black cards, and they just toss them around, and their job is to follow the indifferent card. And sometimes they'll throw down money, and they'll take your money. So this is kind of like this, or kind of like that. But I got some cards here, and they're more cards than 3 cards. But your job is to follow the indifferent card. So it should be obvious what the indifferent card is when I place the jokers down, like this. I'll place the jokers down, and you guys can see that. It's obvious what the indifferent card is right here, the queen, right? So I'm going to take the jokers like this, and I'll place the jokers down. You would say, sometimes they would do like a move like this, right? They'll try and get you. So where is the indifferent card?
The queen, right?
Yeah. Well, the indifferent card is actually the joker, because this is a queen, this is a queen, this is a queen, all these are queens. And the indifferent card is actually the joker. So, and that's how they get you. They just take your money just like that. So yeah, so that's called. Did that fool you?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it fooled me.
Yeah. So that's.
I look stupid, isn't it? I look like a stupid.
Oh no. Oh, that's how we all are, right? When we see magic for the first time, something that fools us, and then we're like, man, I want to get, you know.
Yeah.
So
and it's so good to, like, you know, being fooled by a magician. I mean, like as talking about me, I'm a professional magician, and doing I think professionally doing for the past 7 or 8 years. So we research a lot, right? You know that, okay? But being fooled by a magician, you know, that's kind of a different feeling. I mean, we love to get fooled, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. I hate it, and that's like that starts the addiction of always buying magic, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the one I wanted to show you guys, and
that's great. Yeah. I mean, so basically, it's your creation, or is somebody created this?
This one is I'll have to look it up. I'll tell you in a second. But yeah, that's by somebody else. Let's see, Murphy's Magic. But yeah, so they created it. It's by Juan Manuel Marcos.
Okay.
So he's I believe he's in Spain, I believe. But he's a pretty big magician. But he created that.
Okay.
And again, yeah, they sell that at all the, you know, magic.
Okay. So now let's come to the next question. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about magic. You actually showed me one magic trick as well. So now let me come to the mentalism portion, because you know many mentalists as well, right?
Right.
So who is your favorite mentalist and why that person is your favorite?
Oh man. There's so many. It's really hard to choose. I'll have to think about. Let me think about it. And
Sure.
yeah.
And you have to tell me why. Okay, why as well? Why he is your favorite?
So I mean, probably my favorite mentalist would be like Paul Draper.
Okay.
He's great. I mean, he performs a lot in the at the Magic Castle. He's released a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of mentalists out there that are great. But Paul Draper, I mean, he's a really good friend of mine too. And he's just super nice guy. Like if you ever have any questions, he's always there to, anybody can just message him and he's like, hey, I have a question. Like, what's your opinion on this? Like
and he will definitely reply to them, right?
Yeah, and he'll help you without a doubt. Like no questions asked. Stuff. So, but yeah, like I mean, I really like mentalism as well because mentalism, you could do it without anything. You don't need to have anything. I mean, you could just have a pen and paper. Stuff. I mean, Matt Maven's great too, and stuff. But yeah, like I would probably say Paul Draper would be great.
Okay, we have got your answer. And now, what's your favorite go-to effect?
I really, my favorite thing with cards would probably be, I mean, Ambitious Card always is great, but
it's a classic effect, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't present it as a magic trick. I present it more of like just a card move that dealers do at a casino, and you should never
like a deceptive way, right? Like, did you see the move? I mean, did you see it happen?
Yeah. So I just say, this is a move because I used to be a blackjack dealer at a casino. And I say this is one of the moves that they taught me at the casino and stuff. Okay. So so I just do that. But even like I mean I would say like Wiki Test, Ambitious Card. I mean even when you have doubles, you can like here and there and stuff like that. It's always great. But the stuff I just ended up getting a cup, CUPP by Cecil.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's an effect. It's a lottery prediction. So you have a bunch of people name 6 numbers, and you pull out a lottery ticket, and the numbers are on the lottery ticket, and it's just like it's like an impossible effect. But you just take your wallet out, put it on the table, or even have like a box like this, put it on the table, and inside would be the.
Is it a normal box? It's called gift. Is it that effect?
No. This is the box for my cup that I use.
Actually, that's the effect called gift, right?
Yeah, it does look like the gift box. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a great effect too.
Yeah, that's a great effect. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. So let me just. Okay, so you are done with the effects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Let me ask you one more thing, or let's say 2 more things, whatever. Okay. Apart from being a magician, I mean, are you a full-time professional magician now, or you do any other side business?
Yeah. So after Murphy's Magic, so with Murphy's, I was editing videos. I've always been into video production.
So basically, you are like a main editor of Murphy's Magic, right?
Yeah. Like I used to be. Like I used to. Like I don't know if you've heard of the At the Table lecture series.
Yeah, of course.
So I used to be one of the hosts of that.
Yeah, that I know. That I know.
Yeah. So, but after I left Murphy's, I just edit videos for people. Like I edit videos for Paul Draper.
So basically, now you don't edit for Murphy's. Now you are a freelancer, right?
Yeah, so now I'm a freelancer. I do magic still, but it's more on the side. But I like having that steady paycheck of knowing how much I'm
Okay, so
getting.
let me ask you this. Okay, this is not related to Magic. Which editing software you use? You use Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere?
Adobe Premiere, yeah,
Adobe Premiere. Oh, nice.
yeah. So Adobe is great, and there's so much you could do. I mean, they edit movies on Adobe now and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, it's and that's, I mean, as a magician too, it's good to know how to
Editing.
edit stuff. Yeah, because
we don't have to depend on others, right? We can be independent.
right, and then you could edit your own promo
Yeah.
stuff and everything like that, and it's, save money. It's always good to save
Yeah, we
money.
can save a lot more money. Yeah, because if we are depending on others for editing, our pockets will start disappear. Our wallet will start disappear.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's a great thing with what you're doing, like bringing magicians on here and interviewing them and stuff, and there's always information that people can learn, and you can learn something from everybody. Even professional magicians can, these big names. You might be doing something that they don't do, and they're like, "Man, that's a really good idea," or you might give them an idea for something. So it's a great thing that you're doing, and I really appreciate you having me on.
Oh, thank you very much. So, last question. So, it's just a very
Yeah.
personal question. Okay. So, if there was a point in your life where there's a point in your life which will come, you have to either focus on magic or you have to either focus on video or anything kind of business related stuffs. So the question is very simple. You cannot stand or depend on both. Okay, you just have to focus on only one thing. So you will continue with magic or you will continue with the editing or business related stuffs.
Uh-huh. What is your question again? Sorry.
Yeah, basically, just imagine there will be a point in your life when you have to only focus on only one thing. Either you have to leave magic and continue with the editing or business related stuffs, or either you have to leave the editing and business and fully focus on magic. What you will do, which you will opt.
I would love to leave editing and do magic. I mean, that's always fun, but I don't know. In my mind, you could always do magic.
Yeah, that's true.
You could, but it's so hard though. I would be stuck.
I think by talking to you, I can get a vibe that you just want to make people happy with your magic. You don't have to, you don't want to become so much famous or you don't want to get that stardom. You just want to
Right.
spread the happiness with your magic. That's all you want, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's definitely how I feel, because I mean there's been goals of things I wanted to do, and I wanted to work for a magic company. I wanted to work for David Copperfield. I wanted to do magic on television, and I've done
You
all
have done that, yeah.
and stuff, and so I've kind of, I mean, I wasn't
And
famous.
have you been? You have been on Wizard Wars, isn't it?
Yeah. I was on Wizard Wars.
Yeah.
I was on a show called Don't Blink. It was on Pop TV here in the United States.
Okay.
And David Copperfield was on The Amazing Race finale, and I was kind of one of the helpers in the background teaching
Wow.
stuff.
So, having so many moments with the legend of magic is really great for you, right? I mean, you can cherish that moment forever in your life.
Oh yeah. The stories are the things that you cherish the most, for sure.
Exactly. Those moments. That's what push you for the future. That's what drive you, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree.
So So anyway, Chris, we just had a nice little time, and thank you so much for spending your time with me on our Mallugic. Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank
It was
you.
a blast.